The breakdown for the $1.3 trillion budget is as follows. $1.19 trillion will be used for recurrent expenditure to deal with things such as wages and salaries. For capital expenditure, money to deal with things such as roads and other infrastructure, $62.5 billion is being set aside.
Jamaica's national budget continues firmly in the trillion-dollar range, having crossed that threshold for the first time in fiscal year 2022-23. Total expenditure and payments for the upcoming fiscal year are projected at $1.3 trillion. This continued strength of our budget has been so despite a backdrop in fiscal year 24-25 of dry weather or drought, severe impact of Category 5 Hurricane Beryl, Tropical Storm Raphael, and rainfall.
Almost $163 billion will go towards debt servicing, and for interest payments on the debt, $178 billion. So, how will the budget be funded? As usual, it's a combination of taxes, grants, loans, and receipts. Tax and non-tax revenues are expected to be roughly $1.09 trillion. The bulk of the tax revenue will come from income tax, roughly $340 billion. General consumption tax GCT is projected at $305 billion. Capital revenues are projected at $4.9 billion. $158 billion will come from loans. For specific ministries, the Health Ministry has been allocated roughly $166 billion, National Security $157 billion, and Education, Skills, Youth and Information $188 billion. In the meantime, opposition spokesman on finance Julian Robinson says the new estimates of expenditure comes at a critical time for Jamaica.
We are within the context, happily, low unemployment, but 700,000 Jamaicans who are outside the workforce, who have opted out, and where there's a significant gap between the needs of employers and the willingness of those who want to work. So, Madam Speaker, with the presentation of these estimates, the country is at a critical trajectory. The estimates, while tabled, and the details will come in the presentation, must address the issues of the anemic growth that the country is currently experiencing. They also must address our inability to spend our capital budget. For the fiscal year ending, $19 billion unspent. Last fiscal year, it was $11 billion. There's a direct correlation between expanding our capital budget and economic growth.
The Standing Finance Committee will meet to examine the budget on March 6 and 7, and the Finance Minister will open the budget debate on March 11.
A blessed and a wonderful evening to all of my viewers and all of my subscribers. I hope you all are having a blessed and a wonderful day. Now, my viewers and my subscribers, we have a lot coming up inside this update. So if you're not like the video yet, then please leave a like on this video. If you're not like the video yet, give it a thumbs up and also share the content as well. Alright? Now, my viewers, my subscribers, I want to ask you a question. You don't ever think about it like all of these money in the budget presentation, $1.3 trillion. Where all of that money goes during the financial year. Because clearly, you know, see no development are going on in Jamaica. You know, see no infrastructure are building in Jamaica. Our roads is a mess. The road in Jamaica is a mess. You have to buy parts for your vehicle like every minute, every second. You have to buy wheel, front end parts, and all of that. Every minute, every second. You have to go hospital. Go lie down on floor, sleep on cardboard in a hospital. The children them now pass the exam again. Peer done student, I left school, all of a sudden, from the Prime Minister say, fully done. You understand me? I say, police can't find service vehicle. And a whole lot more people there in Jamaica, they suffer like dog. People there, they suffer. A whole heap of people there, they suffer. So the question is, the budget presentation, where them have every fiscal year, where is all of that money going? Which part the whole of the money did they go? Like a $1.3 trillion yeah, where them presenting at the budget presentation. Which part all of this money are gonna go? Because clearly, at the end of this financial year, it are gonna come in like no money not spent in that country. So when the government say them are gonna spend $1.3 trillion for this financial year, which part them are spending? Because clearly it not show up on Jamaica. Clearly, Jamaica now benefit from that money. So where is all of that money going? People, we have a lot coming up inside this update. So guess what? Bless up to my viewers and my subscribers. May hope everybody having a blessed and a wonderful evening. Now my viewers and my subscribers, remember, in everything you do, always put God first. In any situation, just always remember to call upon God. Always remember to pray, because a prayer day keep the devil away. Now, my viewers and my subscribers, we have a lot coming up inside this update, including Usain Bolt liar clapback at the government and a lot more people. So you definitely don't have to go away. And how can I even forget this? How could I forget this? Labourite fish tape leak. It there over your people. Only no one got no way. Alright? So guess what? Make a run in and come back, people. We soon forward. Alright? Like up the video.
Call it Andrew. Call it an Iman will sound the trumpet.
Welcome back to my viewers and my subscribers. People, Mark Golding now put him out a ground and talk. Mark Golding slam low-key and disappointing government plans for a new fiscal year. Now, people, you know Mark Golding sturdy. Mark Golding not afraid of them. Mark Golding go always speak his mind. Enough people not like it because them not like when people be straightforward with them. So, me I go make you hear what Mark Golding had to say, people. Check it out.
On the question of the throne speech, my immediate impression of it is as follows. I think it was very low-key and disappointing insofar as a forward-looking document. It really didn't deliver anything, I would say, that was likely to excite any voters. It was really more trying to spin things that have already taken place in a particular light. But in terms of announcing new things, there was very little in it of note, of that would catch people's attention. The legislative agenda is weak, extremely weak, which is not surprising because the legislative performance of this government has been extremely weak. There was nothing in it to speak to how they plan to deal with the recession that Jamaica has experienced in the second half of 2024, with 2 consecutive quarters of negative growth, which is the definition of a recession. The food insecurity, which was announced recently as a result of the report of the UN's FAO, Food and Agricultural Organization, saying that over 55% of Jamaicans are experiencing moderate to severe food insecurity. Not enough food, not enough nutritious food, not eating sufficient meals per day, etc. The poverty numbers in Jamaica, we don't know where they are because they haven't been published since COVID. But when we see that report on food insecurity and the recession in the economy, we are very concerned about that. And the reality is that The economy is not doing well. They aren't speaking to how they intend to turn it around. They financed the budget for this fiscal year that's coming to a close by a one-off transaction, selling 12 years of future income to finance programs that will have no lasting impact on economic growth and development, but are purely feel-good programs with temporary effects. And that is very poor economic management. And we are very concerned because we're wondering how they intend to finance this coming year's budget without that money being available next time around. Because it was over $70 billion that was yielded from the sale of those future income from the Norman Manley Airport. So those are my comments on the throne speech.
Now, people, before we go any further, people, I want to play an audio for you people where all of the sprat them name I get called out over the Jamaican Labour Party. Now, this individual clearly expose some people who he think allegedly are sprat, are fish, mermaid, shark. You understand what I say, people? So, I want to check out the audio. And remember, we have a lot coming up inside this update here. Definitely don't have to go away. You need to watch this video until the end. If you don't like the video yet, then leave a like, no man, what you wait for.
This one thing that I can say about my country, Jamaica, is that we have the best set of leaders that anyone could ever ask for. You don't believe me? Look at this.
$1.5 million to promote gays, lesbians, and trans in Jamaica. Jamaican me crazy.
USAID awarded $1.5 million to fund strengthening community support structures to upscale LGBT rights advocacy in Jamaica. Does this advance our interests?
No.
No, the Jamaica Labour Party, they must drop this gay argument. It's not the right party to talk about this thing. There are lots of them in the Jamaica Labour Party who are regular attendee for Cliff Hughes' party. Cliff Hughes open and unspoke of yearly gay party. The Prime Minister's attorney is an open homosexual. A junior minister in the Prime Minister's cabinet, namely Minister Alondo Terrelong, is having a full-blown relationship with Patrick Bailey, the former attorney of the Prime Minister, wheeling and twirling everywhere him is. How can the Labourite keep advancing such an argument when they are the ones who promote homosexuality in Jamaica more than anybody else? We're not trying to cover up on the tracks by shouting wolves, wolves, wolves. The day when we need help, Labourite, everybody I got think a joke una make. The Jamaica Labour Party is just not the party to advance this argument when you are the party that is advancing the agenda. You are the party who not only wants to take in money from foreign governments to teach Antichristism to Jamaican children. How if you have the nerve to have these conversations every day? On no shame and vase, you must temper down that behavior. Because you know you're a lesbian. We know you're a lesbian. We know at least 3 of the young men in your office are gay. Miss Vaz, tone down that rhetoric from your supporters. You're only making yourself look bad when you and your supporters run such narrative out there every day. One thing nobody don't know. No? One thing nobody no soon as a hypocrite. You know, so look at that hypocrite behind closed door and then come out and make these nice. But Yeti Boss must come out here and make me and him have the conversation about Henry. Tell we say Henry not there. Yeti Boss. I challenge you on that. I am challenging Yeti Boss to come and dispute that him and Henry not having a relationship. And then I will prove to Yeti Boss that him and Henry have a relationship. I dare you, Yeti, to come out here and let us have that back and forth, that roll in wet mud. Listen here. When you could have stayed in the closet, when you could have stayed around the house back somewhere, as long as you not lay down with a Batman out there, him tell somebody else. And the person when him tell back for him close friend. And that the close friend tell back for him close friend until it in the old Batty village. That's why you see Informer me Infomedia when name or Infomedia when name can register Philippian as Miss Philippian and Madam. Don't play with we. Don't come run out here every day and talk about chichi this, chichi that. When it reside amongst all our know. How could you not come out here and embarrass on yourself? When you don't know easy to get evidence found. The very man them wanna sleep with in a private will speak. Because them soon as some big dirty hypocrite. That's why when we tell them sometimes, shut on the mouth. You better not shut on the mouth. When you don't sing these jubilee, when you just give yourself away, the Labourite is not the party to have this conversation. Too much homosexuality is saturated in the Jamaica Labour Party. For the Jamaica Labour Party to run out every day with such agenda, don't try it round here. Because if you don't know anybody else afraid down, you don't know say me don't afraid down, no? You don't know say when Labourites go low, they will dig hole and walk under them foot. Me know Michelle Obama. And I lie Michelle Obama they tell. She never serious about it.
I don't know what's going on over there in the Jamaican Labour Party, but all I know is that the aquarium over there need to empty out. The aquarium over the Jamaican Labour Party, them need to empty it out. And no wonder them a try to bring this up on our children, to teach fishy business to we picnic them in a school. But God is in control. God is in control, so them couldn't get, well, them have Canada money and them have the EU money, so who to tell? Who to tell? I just one name call out, so maybe it's still in shock, because them go sign the Samoa agreement. So who to tell people? But into other news now, Usain Bolt, money still in a limbo. Usain Bolt lawyer even come out and speak out.
Dear Jamaicans, so the lawyer for Dr. the Honorable Usain Bolt has entered the chat. Now, as I said this morning, it seems that the Labourites have come up with a defense of victim blaming. So stupidly, they have gathered to try and sling mud at Usain Bolt and try to confound the issue. They're trying to confuse the masses. But I'm very happy that Mr. Linton Gordon, the attorney for Usain, has come out to speak about the issues. So, of course, the headline is Bolt's lawyer calls out victim blaming, says government failed to protect the SSL investors. No, Usain Bolt is the most prominent investor, but he's not the only investor. And we have to remember that quite a number of Jamaicans have lost money in SSL. Also remember that the Prime Minister, the Most Honorable Andrew Holness, had money in SSL and withdrew all his funds months before the institutions collapsed. So I want you to take a moment to let that sink in. Make we mats up the thing now. So according to Mr. Gordon, the allegations being circulated in the public that not all of Usain Bolt's funds that were sent to SSL were received by the institution are false, baseless, and entirely without credibility. All funds lodged at SSL by Bolt's company were transferred via bank transactions, and each and every payment was acknowledged by the institution in writing. All right. So you have a lot of people online yapping, aside from Nationwide News Network, we say Dennis Strong, who is, as far as I can concerned, for all intents and purposes, is a GLP activist for all intents and purposes. They're all over yapping off their mouth. No. Gordon pointed to court evidence given by Ken Tomlinson, the temporary manager appointed by the Financial Services Commission, to support his point. Tomlinson told the Supreme Court last year that Bolt's principal investment of US $6.2 million, which is $950 million, was validated as having been defrauded from the company's account at SSL. Bolt's statements, I can't say right this about the Bolt's statements he received up to late 2020 whatever showed that he had investments totaling US $12.7 million. So all of this talk out there trying to blame Usain Bolt for this, me say any other man decides say him a go talk to CNN or NBC or Fox News or one of them TV station the overseas, or Associated Press or one of them CBS or what them name now, Washington Post or New York Post or one of them something there, Miami Herald, all Daily Mail. If Usain Bolt ever decides say I go open up him mouth and start talk, you see, me say story come to bump. I thank you. Have yourself a good day.
People, I want you to type in the comment section, give Bolt back his money. Type it in the comment section, give Bolt back his money. Or if you don't want to put Andrew Wallace's name there, you don't put it there. But type, give Bolt back his money. The man deserves to get back his money. He has done so much for Jamaica. And on the Labourite, we have beat down upon Usain Bolt. Some of you is a bunch of hypocrite and you make the country now go forward because you back and support every single foolishness will happen inside of this country. You don't know wrong from right and you need to stop it. You need to stop it. Anyway, people, the tour continue because Usain Bolt lawyer recently did an interview with Emily Shield. Alright, so I am going to play this interview. I will come back and talk some more. So check it out, people. Remember, we have a lot coming up inside this update, so you definitely don't want to move.
Sent to the institution, it went elsewhere. That's fine. The first thing those persons should do is go to the DPP and give the DP that info. The DPP is ready to try. It's now in the news. And I'm sure she has that information too, and will charge those persons who collected those monies.
Right. So I think the reason all of this has come about is because Mr. Bolt did an interview in which he has said he believes it's the government who should do something about what has happened. Yes?
Well, remember, Mr. Bolt is not an attorney like you and I. And Mr. Bolt will speak loose. He says, the government must do something about this thing, man. And properly people will complain. And the reason for that, and what he's saying is not unreasonable or out of bound. And I'll tell you why. The SSL was being given a license annually by the Financial Services Commission, the entity that is supposed to protect us, guide us, and assure us that an institution is viable and is within the bounds of the law. So Mr. Bolt is not unreasonable. The government should do something about this. It's a loose talk, but he's not saying, is the government took my money.
Right.
So those who have rushed to the defense of the government and are now making it a political issue, you have to understand a man who is a layman within the law will make these statements.
Yes.
People complain every government must stop the killing, government must stop this. So I don't see anything wrong with what he has said.
Right.
It's just a general comment.
So as counsel then, how do you plan to act on that comment in light of the fact that you said there was an entity that gave it license for the years of operations? Let me take a break and then we come back. You can answer that.
Okay.
Say that he lodged the money by online transactions to SSL and...
No, bank transfer.
Bank transaction. Bank transfers.
One bank to the other. Yeah.
Online transactions.
Okay.
Is it online?
Yeah, I call it bank transfer. It's online, but it's from one bank to the other with confirmation.
Right. And you've tabulated the quantum sent by the bank transaction. So
yes, and it's more than that. Mr. Ken Tomlinson,
yes,
who was put in charge, he has presented the record indicating that the funds were there.
Right. So that's the other part.
Accepted there.
Where is that information that Mr. Tomlinson calculated and confirmed the lodgements?
Tabulated. I would prefer tabulated.
This is what he disclosed to you as counsel?
Those records are in the court, in the civil matter in the court.
Oh.
Not disclosed to me personally. They are part of the court records.
This is in the FSC and the SSL matter?
There's several matters before the court, yes.
And based on his tabulation before the court, it confirms the accounting that you have done based on the bank transactions from Mr. Bolt to SSL?
Yes.
Okay. And go back to what you told me before the break now, that we had the FSC that issued licenses and so forth to SSL,
yes.
And to that extent, Mr. Bolt is not incorrect in what you say is a sort of loose talk that the government should do something. What is counsel intending to do in light of that position about licenses?
Well, I understand the question you're asking, and there is a civil matter before the court, and multiple civil matters. What steps ought to be taken against FSC, I think you're getting at.
Yes.
Is that it is contingent on the outcome of certain matters that we are dealing with, and we are not late in going another route in the event that we don't reach the promised land we are headed for in this direction. But you are right. The FSC, in our view, has something to answer to. And that is a matter that has not escaped us. And we have not abandoned taking a certain attitude to it. But we are awaiting the outcome of other steps being taken, which we believe might be quicker and more beneficial to our client.
Right. So based on your tabulation, exactly how much is it that Mr. Bolt is due?
No, forgive me. I am in Orchard's in my office speaking to you on a cell now. I don't have the file before me.
Yes.
All we're saying, what we went through with him, he's satisfied that what was tabulated from Mr. Tomlinson's investigation and from his record
Yes.
accords with what he put in the institution.
Right. And then the other thing from the matter decided by the Honorable Mr. Justice Batts
But, yes,
in the FSC v. SSL and Cadian Campbell,
right?
I believe at paragraph 19, it is said that it is now known that the amount defrauded by the first defendant's employee, that SSL, is approximately Jamaica 940 million, and that the first defendant's total assets were, as at the 31st of January 2023, 24 million below total liabilities. So in other words, do you believe, based on this statement, that there is enough money in SSL for you to claim back what Mr. Bolt invested therein?
I'm sure you understand that's not a matter council would comment on. The matter is before Mr. Batts. Those are matters that Mr. Batts are trying to determine. I would be very preemptive and rude to draw a conclusion ahead of Mr. Batts' decision. He has the matter before. Mr. Campbell is there. In fact, I think there is a committee set up, and the committee met this week and is part of the ongoing effort to determine what you properly asked, Emily, and to get back to Mr. Batts, His Lordship Mr. Batts, and to report to him and put him in a better position to make the conclusion you're asking me to make now. So I would be wrong to tell you what the assets are and what is available and all that. That's a matter for the court and for what Mr. Campbell is doing.
Right. So in other words, you're watching all the proceedings.
Yes, and we are involved in the litigation directly or indirectly. And the judge rightly said all the parties should be involved in the discussions and the ongoing inquiries and investigations. So I don't think anybody should say hey or nay before His Lordship makes his findings and rulings.
Very well. You say in the release as well that the notion that Mr. Bolt was negligent in making these deposits is entirely unfounded. Who is saying that he's negligent?
It's being said on social media that him should know where I'm going to put him money. I see him fall to go put it there when I never put it at another bank. And in other words, all these allegations are part of the victim blame.
Social media. Counsel? I think I lost counsel.
All I can say is that the people of Jamaica need to stand with Bolt, and we need to fight with Bolt and make sure say Bolt get back his money. Bolt is a legend. Bolt inspired you, your children, your grandchildren. Bolt have done so much for Jamaica. And this treatment that this current government is giving Usain Bolt is very, 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 very unfair. It is unfair. You understand me? I say, now people state a thought down below in the comment section. And as usual, remember, leave a like on this video. Give it a thumbs up. And remember, type in the comment section, give Bolt back his money.
Man and his team went on an embezzlement drive, you know, that reverberated through the entire society.
Wait a minute, the Prime Minister went on an embezzlement?
Look here, once I saw the Prime Minister flexing with SSL boss, I know he was up to something.
Oh!
Because people with knowledge know who that man is. You understand? It's one thing that man up to. And it's to pull off multi-billion-dollar style embezzlement scheme. And the Prime Minister, on all accounts, seems as if he was in agreement with the deal for wealth creation.
Oh, hey, me tell you, them treacherous are evil, you know. Listen to that part, yeah.
Now, the other transaction which concerned me was the one where the account was opened at NCB. It was opened with no money in it. And I didn't know you could open an account with no money in it. A couple of days later, there was a deposit of a little over 143,000 US dollars, which came from SSL. And in the context of the discussions which we have been having about SSL, I believe that the Prime Minister needs to address this and explain how and why that money came into his account from SSL.
Jamaica, run! Run! Well,
because, listen, when the incident, when both money gone from long time, he has no chance of getting it back.
so it says years now the money. It's years the money missing, but they were just giving him false statements.
Because the person who was doing it is well experienced.
Oh?
He has done it before in the 1990s. So he's just doing it again. Remember, you know, he is one of the financiers of the JLP, you know.
Oh, the person who was doing the scheme is one of the financiers of the Labour Party.
Look here, the man went to Canada. His father owned a gas station at Rockford, close to where KFC is at now. And his father sent him to Canada to do automotive art, which is body work. And he said, no, man, you're wasting time. I'm going into finance. And he just did a diploma in finance and a little certificate in business.
Yes.
And came back and he became Dr. Paul Chen's young number 2 man, not his right hand. To date, he controlled most of Dr. Paul Chen's young wealth.
Oh. So you're giving us the history.
That guy deal with billions. He has multiple properties in Norbrook, Canada, and America. He's a Canadian citizen.
Oh, you're saying the mastermind?
He gone. They allow him to go through the airport. He's gone.
My God.
But he has his children. He has his daughter and his son.
Jamaica, run!
I see Chris Gale and his son flexing very regularly now at certain clubs.
Chris Gale, who? And his son?
And the man's son.
And the son of the mastermind?
Yeah, so Chris Gale should be ashamed of himself to know that a legend like Bolt Money has been taken among other citizens, and he's still flexing with the man's son.
Hey! And what is Jamaica? Is united in a Labour Party. See them there. Wall it down! So Chris Gale, now they are India caller?
Well, whenever he's in Jamaica, I see him and the man's son very often.
Hey, no, sir, this is serious. You sound like you come from uptown and know uptown business. Hey, me tell you, them treacherous are evil, you know. Listen to that part, yeah. Hey?
Brother, listen. Usain, once the money went in, the money was gone. The money was gone because that man doesn't have any time to work for any money and deal with any interest. That man is grabbing for billions non-stop.
Yeah.
His belly is full now, so he can stop now and live in Canada. Look here. Why you think they're laundering so much money in First Rock Investments?
What is the First Rock is a money laundering scheme? I don't know about that.
You don't see they put up the man up there and make him CEO. Where he gets his capital from to start First Rock Investment. You don't see it was the airport money, $400 million.
What you say?
What you say? Airport money started it.
Hey, me tell you, them treacherous are evil, you know. Listen to that part, yeah. Airport money.
Listen, and the Prime Minister put that man from First Rock on board too. He was chairman of the National of the Education Trust Fund.
But I think he's also chairman of Nationwide. Nothing couldn't hear. Nothing couldn't hear.
Finance Minister is a director of Nationwide from the inception. So it's the monies, the multi-billion of dollars moving through about 12, 15 people in Jamaica. So Mark Golding now must go on when he gets power, he should hold them, make sure they can go through the airport. Make sure you grab them. Like you crowds, they have to extradite him from Canada because you crowds, we're not going to take the chance and come back. Remember, you crowds, you can't go anywhere in the world, even Monaco, which is the most expensive tourist destination, he can go there and live like a king. He has enough money.
This is serious,
those who
man.
are in Jamaica, they have to hold those who are in Jamaica. Make sure they don't go through the airport.
So take for them visa.
Yes, the Mark Golding has to act hastily. He has to secure the ports and the borders. As he wins on that election night, he has to start securing. He has to align himself with some top police from now.
Jamaica, run! Run!
Make sure on certain people at the airport, but the Prime Minister is ruling with a iron fist. He's a very determined guy to hold on to power,
Really?
I think that Andrew Holness is a walkover,
Oh.
He's a tough guy,
Yes.
This man, you think he's easy to beat? Yes, there is a national momentum in favor of the PNP because of the crisis going on. It's very obvious.
Yes.
But this man not giving up power so easily, he prefer uses a security force and create havoc in the society rather than to give up power.
So you're saying that is by design so many Jamaicans are being killed?
Definitely, man. The man gave orders to the police, to just get out people like that. It will create confusion. It will create a deflection from the Integrity Commission's report.
Oh.
Which says that the Prime Minister has obtained illicit enrichment. So anything, if it is even to cost 100 lives, the Prime Minister will embark on that journey to make sure that there's a deflection, because when fire is on a man's heels, he starts to act frantically. And a lot of his decisions are out of panicking, out of fear.
Look.